Today is the big day. The August issue of Empire magazine has launched, which focuses all about Avatar: The Way of Water. Avatar Theory here, hope you're doing well and having a fantastic day. And in this video, I'm not necessarily going to talk about the articles in the magazine itself, as it is quite lengthy and it will take some time to dissect and essentially summarize. So I'm going to do another video at another time where I talk in detail about the articles and some new information about Avatar: The Way of Water. But instead, in this video, I didn't want to leave you guys dry, no pun intended. So in this video, I want to go over the images we got from the article, and although some of the images we've gotten already and we are familiar with some of them, there is quite a few new ones. Now, the first image in the article itself. So the first image is something we've already seen before with some text on the side, and that is Kiri, or Tuk for shorten. That is Jake and Neytiri's youngest daughter, and she is a Na'vi, and the reason why I say she's a Na'vi is because of the 4 fingers you can clearly see on the left side. Now, the difference between her and Kiri is that also Kiri has different hairstyle, but also Kiri is much more human-like in terms of facial features, but also she has 5 fingers instead of 4. Then we move on to an image we've also seen before, and that is of Miles Quaritch in his avatar body, or should I say his Recom body, because that is what they're called. We know that the minds or the consciousness of soldiers can now be transformed or transported to avatars, and those are Recom soldiers, so I'm really curious how that plays out, as the scene looks almost like Quaritch kind of realizes what it is and is thinking about his intentions. So like I said, I'm really curious how his character plays out in the second movie. This is a brand new image, and it is of actor Jack Champion, or Spider, and director James Cameron on the set of Avatar: The Way of Water. Now, what's interesting about this scene in particular, or this photo, is that it seems like Spider is looking into a tube which houses an avatar body, possibly a Recom. So this could be him essentially being curious, trying to find out what is happening. Maybe this takes place about halfway through the movie, maybe he gets captured, or maybe he infiltrates a RDA base trying to investigate on how these Recom soldiers are created, and this is something that is very fascinated about. Regardless, I'm really curious to see how the scene plays out, and if he's looking at maybe an avatar that he's familiar with, maybe he's looking at Kiri, maybe this is how Kiri is born, I'm not really sure, but either way, I'm really curious what is inside the glass tube that Spider is looking at. This is also a brand new image and an absolutely stunning image of Ronale as well as Lo'ak taking flight. Now, they can see, well, you can see that they're quite high up in the sky, and I cannot wait to see this in IMAX in all its glory. It's absolutely a visually stunning scene to look at, and this is of course after Jake and Sully or his family has met the water clan, the Metkayina clan, because Ronale is the leader of the Metkayina clan, so of course she must be familiar with Lo'ak to take flight with him in the scene, as you can see on the screen at the moment. And speaking of Ronale, here is her and Tonawari, the leaders of the Metkayina tribe. Now, they haven't elaborated on these spears at the back because this image is something that I've tried to dissect in the past. I did say that I do wonder if that is some sort of ice spear behind Ronale, but like I said, they haven't really elaborated on this, but I'm happy that we got a clear image in the article without the Empire icon on the right hand side. And then here we just have Kate Winslet and Sigourney Weaver on the set of Avatar: The Way of Water with some sort of, I'm not really sure what they're wearing, it almost looks like they're in the water with some sort of dress or some type of outfit, which James Cameron is doing the underwater motion capture. And this makes me really excited to see the making of Avatar: The Way of Water, because I've probably watched the making of Avatar quite a few times over, and it just fascinates me every time I watch it. It fascinates me more. So with the fact that this movie is being done underwater with motion capture, I'm really excited to see the making of when this finally hits on 4K Blu-ray next year sometime. This is probably the most stunning scene from the article, and the only description that we got with it is that it states Pandora's bio-reef in its full glory. It doesn't state what kind of animal that is, it doesn't state who's riding the animal, so I tried to zoom in as much as possible and I couldn't really make out who's on top of this creature, nor do I know what kind of creature this is, because I don't believe we've seen this in the first Avatar movie, so this is one of the new creatures in Avatar: The Way of Water, and just the color, the neon light from the ocean, from the water, it's just absolutely stunning, and again, I cannot wait to see see this in IMAX when the movie eventually hits this year, December. But what do you guys think of this image? I'm just so excited to hear people's thoughts, but there's quite a few more images to go through. The next one being Lo'ak with a tulkun, and again here we can see a much clearer image of what we've got before. And something that I didn't notice about this image is the gray fog or the gray smoke in the background. Kind of makes me think that this scene probably takes place towards the end of the movie, where there's a big battle and he's just like in one with the tulkun, like speaking with the tulkun, telling it, you know what you got to do, and then essentially this big battle is going to take place. Or considering that there's smoke in the background means that it could be after the main battle in the end takes place, and then the tulkun could have been hurt in some way, and then it comes to Lo'ak, and Lo'ak just like kind of comforts it, saying thank you for the help, it's gonna be okay. Maybe that's kind of what's taking place. But regardless, it just looks absolutely beautiful, and the tulkun is quite sizable, so I'm really curious to see how they're going to utilize it in the battle. Then we have a brand new image of Jake Sully and Neytiri just enjoying a moment, looking like it looks like their families at the back there, gathered around some sort of fire. I'm not really sure in the far back right what's happening there, but as you can see, Jake is holding some sort of rifle, or in front of his right hand is some sort of rifle, and the way Neytiri is holding his hand and the way she's looking at Jake, this could probably take place right before the final battle in the movie, where she's maybe kind of concerned about what's about to happen, and then Jake is just basically telling her, it's gonna be okay, we're family. Maybe that end scene in the teaser trailer where Jake and Neytiri talks, maybe this is where that scene takes place. Jake is trying to comfort Neytiri that everything's gonna be okay, right before the final battle. But that rifle certainly looks interesting because we've not seen it in any of the teasers, nor do I believe we've seen it in the previous movies, so I'm not really sure where he gets it. But regardless, I'm really curious to see more about what's happening in the scene. Then here we also see a picture that we've seen before, and it is the Na'vi, or the Na'vi teen Kiri, watches footage of Grace Augustine. Now what's interesting here, and what I was unsure about, is that the description on the Empire article states, quote, Na'vi teen Kiri watches footage of Grace Augustine, end quote. So there they do confirm that Kiri is a Na'vi, that Kiri is not some sort of Recom with the memories of Grace Augustine, because I thought that there might be a possibility that Kiri could be a Recom that she's essentially made, and her thoughts, comes from Grace Augustine. So the fact that they say Na'vi teen kind of confirms that Kiri is not a Recom, but that could change at some point. But this is kind of like a soft confirmation that Kiri is in fact a Na'vi and not a Recom creation. Then we have a very interesting scene, or interesting image, that we've not yet seen before, and the description just says the Bridgehead military base. And as you can see there is 6 Recom soldiers with 3 human soldiers. You can see the 2 human soldiers on the left and right, and then the one in the middle using that mech suit, that exoskeleton mech suit, making them the same size as the avatars, as the Recom soldiers. So this makes me very, very interested and curious to wonder if we're gonna get a Recom versus Na'vi battle at a later film, maybe some huge Recom army against different Na'vi tribes. And the fact that the humans have these exoskeletons, these massive suits, really makes me excited to see. Then moving on to the second last image is also an image that we've seen before, and that is of Kiri, Neytiri, Netahim, Lo'ak, Tuk, and Jake having a conversation. You can clearly see from left to right, it is Kiri, Neytiri, Netahim, Lo'ak, and then right there in between Lo'ak and Jake is Tuk. You can clearly, briefly, you can see her a little bit there. You can't really see her much because she's kind of hiding, and right there in the middle between Netahim and Lo'ak is Spider as well. It does seem like Netahim is kind of disappointed about something, and Jake is kind of giving him this speech about, courage and being brave and all that kind of stuff, and likely the same kind of scene as to when Jake did his first flight in the original Avatar movie. And then last but not least, it is the leaked footage or the leaked image that I've spoke about in the previous video, and that is of Spider smiling alongside Wainfleet and some of the other Recoms. You can clearly see that the avatars in the background are Recom Recom soldiers because they're wearing military uniforms. You can even see the one arm on the left-hand side is wearing a military t-shirt plus wearing some sort of watch. And you can see all of them is very happy. Again, I'm not entirely sure what is happening in the scene. It's probably going to take place towards the end of the movie, and it's probably taking place after that scene where Spider is looking into that glass tube. Maybe Spider is finding out some sort of inside information about the Recom soldiers. Maybe some of the Recom soldiers are actually good, and he's trying to convince Jake that not all of them are bad. So again, maybe this is them, some of them going rogue, but regardless, this is likely taking place towards the end of the film, and probably we're going to see more of this specific scene, when the next teaser trailer drops. As to when the next teaser trailer drops, I'm not entirely sure. I still think we're going to get a full 2 to 3 minute trailer when Avatar remastered version comes out this September, and I'll definitely have a massive breakdown when that happens. And speaking of breakdown, I'm also going to break down all of the new information from this article. Like I said in the beginning of this video, it is quite a lengthy article, so I'm going to have to take quite a few notes. I don't want to read through all of this and just quote it on the screen. I want to do a proper summary on what's new and some interesting things from this article. But if that's something you want to stay up to date with, then be sure to click the subscribe button. But let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite image from all these new images from the Empire magazine? And for more Avatar content, have a look at the rest of my channel. Until next time, stay safe and have a fantastic day.